Grace and peace, everybody. We are back. I appreciate you stopping by on today. Got our usual, so let's go ahead and bring our commercial in. So we got our usual show planned for today. I'm gonna start off by just going over our commercial. So let's bring it in if I can do it correctly, which it doesn't look like it wants to behave correctly because reasons. There we go.
As the Peach Rods. In this gripping second season, we delve deeper into the heart of Georgia, in a state where the odor of mendacity lingers in the air. Our intrepid team of chat room investigators is on a mission to peel back the layers of deceit and uncover the truth. From backroom deals to embezzlement scandals, no stone is left unturned in our pursuit of justice. But as tensions rise and alliances shift, who can be trusted in the Peach State? Join us for a season ripe with drama, where even the fruit isn't safe from corruption, because sometimes the juiciest scandals are right under your nose.
I just want to shout out again to We Watch YouTube for that. That is an excellent ad. I really do appreciate it. One of the problems that we've had with this whole discussion on Fani Willis, Nathan Wade, and all the drama that surrounds it is that people don't want to hold Fani Willis accountable. They don't want to say that Fani Willis did something wrong. Again, the Trump case be set aside. We're looking at somebody who did something wrong and abused her power, abused other people, violated her oath of office, violated somebody else's marital vows, and let us also point out that man did those things as well. Dare we say, possibly stole funds. There's a lot of problems that came from this. And with that, I don't think that there's been a serious push, an intense push to actually encourage and hold Fani Willis and Nathan Wade accountable and say what you've done is wrong. What you did was inappropriate. What you did was not a reflection of Black excellence, Black professionalism, any kind of professionalism, any kind of excellence. You besmirched on your role and responsibility as a district attorney, as a man, as a woman, as a married man, fill in the blanks. So today we're gonna look at a couple people that I'm gonna just, as I said in the thumbnail, there's simping. There's simping for Fani, and we'll kind of unpack a little bit more what that means. We're gonna unpack a little bit more what that means and why I'm saying that they are simping for Fani. But let me double check that all of my audios sound right. Give me 1 second. It looks good on my end, and I do think that it is popping like it should. Oh, I see what it is. I see the problem right there. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Some reason or another, it did not launch my... It didn't let you all know that I was going live. Always something, always something. It is always something going on these YouTube streets. Always. I will, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna edit that out. There you go, I'll work on that skill. I'm gonna edit that part out at the end, and then we'll just know that it's removed. Yeah, good to see you, JT2000. I apologize. Some reason or other, it didn't send the announcement out. I see that the announcement was not sent out. Go figure. Just can't win for losing. and you all just got the announcement. I don't know what happened. Man, I apologize about that. I just knew it was going right. And it didn't give y'all the announcement. I'm sorry about that. But I'm back. All right. So I'm gonna actually chop off that beginning monologue, and we're gonna start right here. So we're gonna bring it in right now.
Welcome back to Season 2 of As the Peach Rods. In this gripping second season, we delve deeper into the heart of Georgia, in a state where the odor of mendacity lingers in the air. Our intrepid team of chat room investigators is on a mission to peel back the layers of deceit and uncover the truth. From backroom deals to embezzlement scandals, no stone is left unturned in our pursuit of justice. But as tensions rise and alliances shift, who can be trusted in the Peach State? Join us for a season ripe with drama, where even the fruit isn't safe from corruption, because sometimes the juiciest scandals are right under your nose.
Again, I really want to shout out to We Watch YouTube for that intro. That is fantastic. I appreciate it, man. That is a fantastic intro. Thank you so much. We watch YouTube. Thank you all so much for stopping by. You saw the thumbnail, you saw the title, you might have just got your notification, so you know what we're going to talk about. Today, we are going to talk about the infamous term, simping. What does it mean for a man to simp? And I found a great definition I thought would help drive our conversation today, and it just means this. Simp, it is when a male is overly submissive to a female and gains nothing, nada, zilch from it. So overly submissive that other guys cringe and feel ashamed when seeing them. Now, today we're going to look at some men that are simping for Fani and they get nothing, there's no gain from it. Now, I'm not saying that they got to get necessarily any kind of benefit from it as they were discussing with Nathan and Fani. That's not the case. But these men are literally trading their integrity, trading any level of objectivity over for, I don't know, a piece of the Fani? I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. So I think it's embarrassing. I think that's great that this definition says that it causes other guys to cringe when they think about it and look at you weird because you're doing so much and you gain no benefit from it. At least if you're in a dating relationship, you can kind of see that there's some kind of benefit that you're getting from it. But these men are going to be simping so hard, it don't even make sense. Now, I did find another definition, if you will, and I want to bring this gentleman in. I don't know him. I don't know his belief systems. I can't vouch for anything about him, but he made a really good point that I really want to draw in as we get ready to look at these gentlemen on the thumbnail that are simping for Fani. So let's bring this in.
If you put yourself automatically in a submissive or inferior position just in the hopes of landing a woman, you might be a simp. A woman you don't even know isn't above or below you. Don't put yourself in an inferior position just to gain a woman's favor. If you use being the nice guy as a manipulative tool just to land a woman, thinking if I just be the nice guy, she'll owe me. If you want to be kind, do so for the sake of it, not to get a woman to owe you. Not recognizing or accepting you're in the friend zone might make you a simp. If you've been hanging out for months and nothing romantic has popped off, 99% chance it never will. You might be a simp if you categorically defend women no matter if they're at fault or not. Trying to make a woman feel good so she'll like you. She might like that you agree with her, but she won't respect you if you put too much time and energy into pursuing women. Look, we all should exert energy trying to get women. It shouldn't be your main focus. Focus on your purpose and being the best you can be. The women will come.
Now, a lot of his definition centered around the romantic relationship, and I can totally understand it, but he did say something I think will drive the rest of our conversation. He mentioned that you categorically defend women and don't hold them accountable. That is where I believe all of our effort and all of our focus for today's discussion will be centered around. These men are going to bend over backwards. They are going to do such high level verbal gymnastics in order to justify Fani Willis's behavior that it's actually staggering. Now, another thing I thought was interesting is both of these men do profess to be Christian. So rather than say that what Fani Willis did was objectively wrong, they don't do that. They completely duck and cover that. Right? Because you can say Fani Willis was wrong and you still feel whatever you feel about Trump. You can say Fani Willis was wrong, but she doesn't need to be taken off the case. You can say that, but you're not even saying that. They're completely exonerating her of the fact that, and the responsibility that she was wrong. She was wrong. And we're going to look at two of them. One of them we've already looked at, and I just find him so laughable. There's no other reason not to bring him back in. And this is good old Reverend.
Listen, we are watching our judicial process play out. And I know that there are folks, unfortunately, in the state of Georgia, politicians, who are trying to put their hand on the scale. I'm not going to pile on. I'm not going to add to that. I will watch this process play out, and we will see where the chips fall. But at the end of the day, here's what
Trump deserves. He deserves to have a fair trial before a jury of his peers, and in this case, as voters of Georgia, and we need to see that play out.
And given that, do you think that the optics have become so complicated around this that Fani Willis should step down for the better good of the case that you just talked about?
Well, listen.
Warnock is a Morehouse man, and look, I'm picking on him because he's a Morehouse man. The fact that he stumbles over this question like that.
I think this case is being played out before a judge.
The fact that he's stumbling over this question like that has got to be comedy of the highest level. Let's let him finish it up. Let's go.
And that judge will have to make a decision not based on optics, but based on the law. And that's the wonderful thing about America. We believe that no one is above the law, including Donald Trump.
Why did you have to bring Trump in there? Why is Trump involved in this conversation? Now, I am going to throw out some shade. So please, if you are a Biden supporter, please don't be offended. I'm only asking you a very serious question. Why do I hear you all talk so much about Trump and so little about Biden? I don't understand it. To me, these would be key opportunities in my mind. These would be key opportunities to say, hey, my guy is better than this guy because my guy does XYZ. My guy does ABC 1, 2, 3. My guy has done. It would seem like such a perfect opportunity to contrast Biden and Trump rather than just say Trump is bad. I got you. I got you. I've heard it enough. I'm convinced. You've convinced me that Trump is a bad person. Not a problem. You've convinced me that Trump is just a horrible person. He kicks old ladies. He steps on puppies and, all that. I got you. Totally got you. But you haven't told me why I should vote for Biden. You've told me why I shouldn't vote for the other guy. I got you. Remember, you've already convinced me. I'm perfectly fine. But you haven't told me why I should vote for your guy. And does that not confuse you at all? It just seems so interesting. Like, why do you not tell us about how wonderful your person is? You should be out here. I mean, it seems like, in my opinion, the other team is completely terrible, okay? Trump's team is horrible. But I'm just not hearing how wonderful your team is. I just would think, like, man, like, this is the Bad News Bears versus the Chicago Bears. Okay, they're the Bad News Bears, but we're the Chicago Bears, and we're so much better. We're the XYZ team, and we're so much better. But this is what we do. This is how we've done. This is why you're prospering. Your gas prices are this because of me. The cost of bread is because of us. This, that, and the other. Look at your paycheck. You're welcome. You should be really making a lot of noise about how great your team is. But I never hear it. I never hear how wonderful and how great your team is. I mean, Raphael Warnock should be walking around downtown Atlanta talking about how wonderful and how great it is that this city is like it is because of the policies that we put in place. Like in Philly and New York and San Francisco and Detroit and all these other places, that you guys should be out just like showcasing it on a regular basis. All I keep hearing is how terrible Trump is. Trump is not the president. All I hear is that. And I mean, as a voter, you should, as a politician, you should be pointing out the wonderfulness and the greatness of your policies. Why are you not doing that? Again, it's just a small little caveat. I didn't mean to go off on a rabbit trail. I just think it's weird that you all literally have Donald Trump's team by the short hairs. I mean, Trump is a bad guy. I got you. We already understand that. He's a horrible guy. Got it. But y'all never tell us how great your team is. It's like you spend so much time telling me how horrible Trump is. And again, you've already told me that. I got you. I already understand. But where's the greatness of your team? Where's the greatness of your team? I mean, again, I think any Democrat should proudly, big-chested, walk through every grocery store talking about these prices are great. I think every Democrat should go to every gas station. You should be doing press conferences at Quick Trip in the morning and Racetrack in the afternoon and Sam's Club gas in the late night. Talking about these prices are because of our policies. You're welcome. You should be doing you should put your welcome messages on everybody's paycheck. When they get their paycheck and they see it, they should be saying, man, I'm so thankful for this wonderful federal government we have, because this is how much I'm able to bring home every week or every pay period. Why are you not doing that? Why are you not doing that? Democrats, you need to be doing that. I'm just saying. You should absolutely, positively, unequivocally be proud of what you've done. Then talk about the great things that you've done. Talk about how great it is. The policies that you've instituted have impacted so positively the American people. They should be proud to have you running the ship. And that is why they should vote for you on November whatever coming up 2024. That's it. But y'all don't do that. And it's just so weird. It just doesn't make sense to me. So back to simping, because simping for Fani is not easy. Let's give them another opportunity to simp. Now, this guy is named Charles Coleman, and he is a legal commentator on most of the major news networks. I saw him on a lot of other ones and so on and so forth. I thought it was interesting because I followed him on Twitter. I didn't follow him on Twitter. I looked him up on Twitter. Please forgive me. Or X, okay? His mama named him Twitter, but I'm going to call him Twitter. I looked him up there, and I noticed one of the things about his bio, and maybe I should bring his bio in. I just thought it was really interesting because it goes to the point that I want to make here, that these men are going above and beyond, well out of their range of simping for Fani Willis and giving her duck and cover when she herself doesn't deserve it. All right, real quick. Yep, okay. I'm going to bring this in. Just want to show this very quickly. All right, here's Charles Coleman's, before I jump in, Charles Coleman's bio on Twitter. This is the thing that really stood out to me. He's a Howard University alumni, which is, it is what it is. Well, let me read the whole thing. An MSNBC legal analyst, writer, Slate, former prosecutor, civil rights guy, thinker, race man, D&I guru, HU, Howard University Bison. Then he's a Q. All right, he's in a fraternity. And then the next sentence or the next word, God first. After all those other things, I could be nitpicking, but it just seems like it's interesting that after all of that, then it's God first. God first is technically the last thing in the sentence, because the next one is I block trolls. Okay, well, I won't be subscribing to you, so you don't have to worry about blocking me. Block me ahead of time. I don't care. But I just thought that was adorable. Like, hey, I'm all of these things, but I put God first. Now, why did I bring that up? Because he puts God first. Or does he? Let's go.
This Washington Post article is pointing out, Charles, that race is an ever-present source of tension in the case, and it highlights not just racial harassment and threats against her. The Post quotes one of Willis's senior deputies writing, quote, "We are both aware, especially as African-American women."
Hold on, I'm going to back that up because I don't think she should have read that. Okay, race is an ever-present source of tension in Trump, Georgia case. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that they actually brought that about. You didn't hear race anywhere else until Fani Willis introduced it. And matter of fact, I'll dare say that Fani Willis is the one that's been fanning it. Her team has been fanning the flames of racism. Come on with the alliterations in the morning. Come on. That's her team has been doing that. I'm sorry. Nobody else has been doing that. That has been their team doing that because that's all their team has. Her team has no other viable argument except racism, sexism, and meanism. That's it. They have no other case. But finish up. Willis has faced a torrent of violent and racist threats that forced her to move out of her home and allies say, influence the way she views public criticism of her work. But that doesn't mean that your work is right. And please keep in mind, she is the district attorney. She's also prosecuting a major street gang trial. So sure, is it possible that somebody might have reached out to her in a negative way about the Trump case? That's absolutely positively correct. It is possible. Is it also possible? Do we make room for the fact that she's prosecuting, dare I say, fumbling prosecuting a street gang at the same time? Which one do you think would be more prone to be threatening her? I got you. That's my point. But let us continue. Let's go. Because we haven't even got to the simping part.
Case, and it highlights not just racial harassment and threats against her. The Post quotes one of Willis's senior deputies writing, quote, "We are both aware, especially as African-American women, some find it difficult to treat us respectfully." Trump's lawyer, Steve Sadow, described that email as, quote, "offensive, uncalled for, and untrue." But I want your read.
I want to just point this out. These people all, and from my understanding, Fani and Merchant, Boots, Grandpa, all of them already knew one another. They knew Nathan, they knew Terrence. These were not brand new. They didn't just meet each other in the courtroom. They were well aware of one another before. And this is the mind cancer that is critical race theory, social justice. When you make race your God, you literally take people who were your friends. I mean, I've heard and read they were like peers. They were not like hanging out, going on vacations together, but well, Nathan and Fani were, but that was low. That was low, Jason. But everybody else, they at least knew each other. They at least had a peer-to-peer respectful relationship. And now, because you don't have anything else to argue, you don't have a real case, you now flip and literally call your friends racist and call them all kinds of besmirching terms rather than just admit, yo, my case is garbage. I really don't have a case. And you're critiquing my work. And you know what? You're right. Rather than just say, you know what? My case is garbage. My prosecution is trash. Rather than being honest, you call somebody racist who just 2 years ago was your friend, was your peer just a few months ago. You were okay with them, but now all of a sudden you're this. And we haven't even gotten to the simping part yet. Good gracious, Jason, let's go.
On what's playing out there.
I'm so glad you asked this question, Alex, because this entire ordeal with Fani Willis represents the intersection between race and gender in the professional space. And
no, it doesn't. And I'm going to bring a term. I should have brought this term in. The term I'm going to refer to is called standpoint epistemology. Standpoint epistemology means that where I am, I can see a situation and it's unique to where I am. So I, as a black man in Atlanta, have a different standpoint than a white woman in Oklahoma or a Latino man in New York. So I have a different viewpoint. The bad thing is that he's about to say that my viewpoint actually trumps, pun intended, anybody else's viewpoint, which is crazy. But let's let the simping begin, Charles.
It highlights the fact that no matter how hard you work, if you are a woman, if you are a black woman, there are certain things that you will have to navigate that you would not have if you were a white man, for example.
That is standpoint epistemology 101. That is it. That is standpoint epistemology in the most basic root form. So only people that can critique Fani Willis are black women. And I bet you if it was a black woman that was a sharecropper, a black woman that's just a homemaker, he would say that you need to even be a professional. So the argumentation is silly. The argumentation is bad, but it's actually, it undercuts itself because guess what? He as a black man is not a black woman. So therefore his duck and cover, he's just literally throwing his body in the way because he can't actually critique Fani according to his own ideology. So all he can do, as I said in the beginning, is simp for her. The best he can do is throw his body out there and let women know, like, oh, I'm going in hard for Fani. I'm going in hard. I am a simp for Fani. I'm going to throw myself out there. I'm the good guy. I'm the nice guy. I'm the guy that's taking one for Fani. But never mind that Fani was taking more from Nathan. Never mind that. Never mind that Fani disrespected the profession because he is a former attorney as well, a prosecuting attorney. Never mind, she disrespected your profession, sir. Never mind, she disrespected you as a Howard alumni. Y'all know that I'm a proud alumni of Morehouse College, and I greatly respect all of my HBCUs. I respect those who go to college, those who go and are willing to sacrifice to the level that these men and women do in order to become attorneys. But you're disrespecting that, sir, because you're allowing her to use standpoint epistemology that she can only be critiqued by somebody who's on her level. That is ignorant. And then to actually assume that the only reason people are critiquing her is because she's a black woman, not because of what she actually did. So you're not holding her accountable, Charles. You're literally throwing yourself in the way, human shielding for Fani, and Fani is still getting away with it. You are going to look like a fool when it's all said and done, when the smoke clears, and oh yeah, don't forget, he put God first.
The level of privilege that is enjoyed here, and that's simply undeniable. For Steve Sadow, for as accomplished and respected an attorney as he may be, to simply scoff and dismiss that is a level of privilege to sort of overlook how these things play out in ways.
Did he scoff at that? He just said that's untrue. He literally said, I'm not a racist. I'm not looking at this case because she's a black woman. I'm looking at this case because she's a legal professional who doesn't have a case. Let me, hold on, because maybe, hold on, Jason, you might be going crazy. Let's back this train up. I'm sorry. She says right here, race is an ever-present source of tension in the Trump Georgia case. Sadow replied that Young's email was offensive, uncalled for, and untrue. Is that scoffing? That's just like if I just happen to come out and roll out in front of you and say you're a racist. You say, hey, that offended me. That was uncalled for, Jason, and it's not true. I don't understand how that is scoffing, Mr. Coleman. But see, it doesn't matter. You're just going to say it, and then if anybody corrects you, you're going to say the same thing. How dare you correct a black man? Blah, blah, blah. I'm a black man, and I'm going to call you out. You're foolish. It's foolish, sir, because remember, you put God first. Let's go.
Would not have if you were a white man, for example. There is a level of privilege that is enjoyed here, and that's simply undeniable. For Steve Sadow, for as accomplished and respected an attorney as he may be, to simply scoff and dismiss that is a level of privilege to sort of overlook how these things play out in ways that he may not simply be able to see because of his own blind spots. At the end of the day, trying to understand parts of what it is to be discriminated.
You can hear it in his voice that he's stumbling because he's making this up. He knows good and doggone well. He is not experiencing what he's about to say. Not even a little bit. I'm sorry. There's no way. Dude, you're literally being interviewed on MSNBC. Tell me that you're being discriminated against. Because they're not going to have me on there. So therefore they're discriminating against me. Is that fair? Is that fair? This is ridiculous. This is simping at a high level. So this is trading any credibility that he had, any of his bona fides, he's trading them in to support and prop up Fani rather than just hold her accountable. You can still believe that Trump was wrong and say Fani was wrong too. It's really the same. You can do that. You don't have to split the baby. I see what you did there, McAfee. You don't have to do that. You can literally say, hey, this is wrong and this is wrong. Let's go. I think I backed up.
Of what it is to be discriminated against, what it is to face things that other people don't face. When you are not a part of a particular group, you give that group the benefit of the doubt. So if you're—
You heard that. Back that up, Jason. He didn't just say you give the group the benefit of the doubt so you don't hold. Wait, did he say that? Yes, he did.
Don't face, when you are not a part of a particular group, you give that group the benefit of the doubt. So if you're—
Y'all heard that? So when Fani brings me up on RICO charges, y'all better say, Fani, you're not a part of this group. You're not a part of the guys that wear baseball caps, wear a hoodie, and is yelling in his office group. Therefore, you have to give me the benefit of the doubt. This is insane. I can't believe, man, hold on, man. I didn't hear that.
Give that group the benefit of the doubt. So if you're not a woman, you cannot necessarily tell a woman what is or is not sexism.
Okay, that's it. I'm done. Okay, I'm trying not to rage quit. All right. I just can't believe this. I can't believe this. And I prepared this video and it's making my blood boil. I can't believe that. I can't believe that. I can't. You know what? We're going to take a pause. We're going to take a commercial break. Woo! Shout out to my good, shout out to everybody in the chat. Y'all right here, this thing right here is ridiculous. I'm sorry. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. Good to see you, Q, in the building. Oh man, good to see y'all. Thank y'all so much for stopping by in the morning. I appreciate y'all. So many good people. There goes my sister April in the house, another fantastic content creator. April has been giving this conversation a thorough whooping. Old school whooping. Please go check out April's podcast, the Standard of Truth podcast. She did a segment called The New Jim Jerome Crow. Please check it out. Please check it out. Good to see you, Sister Grace and Peace this morning. What? From South Africa? We done gone international up in here? Whitaker Park is international. Good to see you, my brother. I am not going to insult you by mispronouncing your name, but I want to let you know, my brother, I'm glad to see you, man. Grace and peace. Good to see you. Even though you were shouting out April. Now. Come on, don't be shouting out April in my chat now. Don't be doing that. I done already gave her some love. What's going on, Q? Good to see you this morning. All right, I'm looking at my heart rate monitor. My heart rate is going down, so I'm going to give a couple more shout outs, and then we're going to go ahead and finish this up because this is just plumb ridiculousness, and I had to let my blood pressure go down. Now, I got to give, look, I'm a fair shooter. I like his beard, though. I ain't gonna lie. His beard is nice. I ain't gonna lie. He has several pictures, and you've seen his matriculation of his beard. Great job, man. Great job. Your theology and your ideologies are trash, but you got a good beard. So let your beard impact your theology and your ideology, and you'll probably be good to go. There is no race in this case. Bars. There's no gender and no race in this case. Come on. These people are making up stuff, and folk are just glomming onto it because it makes them feel good. All right, let's see what we got here. Fulton County is corrupt, Franklin says. So she could be threatened by anyone. That's what I'm saying. Like, she could be threatened by a whole myriad of people. And please understand, Fani is not like everybody's favorite auntie. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's not the community auntie. She's got enemies, whether it be from Trump, whether it be from other gang members. I mean, there's a lot of stuff, man. Stop acting like that. It didn't start with Trump or the YSL RICO cases. I agree. What is going on, his servant? All right, my blood pressure's going down. The darn black inadequacy gets on my nerve. That's my point. Like, we will literally make excuses for us being subpar. And I'm saying, like, the black community is the only community. Y'all gonna get mad about this one. Please make sure you email all of your complaints to dearwokec@gmail.com. I want to make sure that you get proper hearing for all of that. Let me put it in the chat real quick. We are the only community that will sell our loyalty, will sell our allegiance to the lowest bidder. We require absolutely nothing, positively nothing, as long as you keep making me a victim. We out here getting some fake crypto and selling all of our integrity to people for fake crypto. Get out of Dodge. Woo. All right, let's see what we got. I'm not surprised. It's not surprising Raphael Warnock's behavior toward his wife mirrors that of Nathan Wade's horrible individuals with no ethics. I agree. No problem there. No argument. She was threatened before Trump. So that would be YSL. That would be some other case. Absolutely. Wasn't that the reason for her staying in Hateville? I think so. I mean, again, they're going to make the narrative whatever. She could have moved 10 years ago and she'll blame it on Trump. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, at this point, it's just what it is. It's just a story that can be told, and it doesn't have to be properly vetted. So as long as it's a story that's told, it's a story that's sold. All right, let us finish. Let's go. Okay, I think my blood pressure's down.
Haven't necessarily experienced it. It's very difficult for you to call something not racist if you're not someone who's ever experienced what racism actually feels like. And so
I'm sorry. I don't know what, these videos are really making me angry. Are you honestly trying to tell me, and I've said this before, racism is always in the hands of the victim. So you as a person, you have no power, for the most part, you have no power to exert or define racism. Racism is always on the person that is, quote unquote, being treated badly to define it and to say, he literally said what it feels like. So it's not a matter of something that's being done to you, AKA you won't sell me a Yeti full of water. No, I feel a certain way. That I'll back up.
If you're not someone who's ever experienced what racism actually feels like. And so while I do understand why Steve Sadow may have sort of been offended by it, at the end of the day, it truly is.
You understand why Sadow was offended by being called a racist when he wasn't, when he was not doing anything racist or sexist. You understand that, but he looking at the fanny pack.
May have sort of been offended by it. At the end of the day, it truly is undeniable that the way that Fani Willis has had her reputation and her integrity challenged, and the manner in which this has gone.
So it doesn't matter that she has poor accounting. It doesn't matter that she didn't follow the proper steps to hire a special prosecutor. It doesn't matter that Nathan was actually in some of the interviews with people that she was allegedly vetting for special prosecutor. It doesn't matter that she was going on dates with a man that she had just done all those other things with. It doesn't matter that that man was married. None of those things matter. Move those away. She's a black woman.
On has from its very start been fueled by white nationalism through the rhetoric of none other than Donald Trump. Look at his attacks on Alvin Bragg.
So is white nationalism, I'm waiting for I'm sure there's probably been a story of basically saying that it's white nationalism to hold somebody accountable. I'm pretty sure at this point in the game, from all the different ways that white nationalism has become this boogie monster, I'm pretty sure that I'm not surprised. So I'm sure somebody will probably email me a crazy story, clipping your toenails is white nationalism, or these people want to be taken seriously. And then they wonder why we laugh at them and we don't take them seriously. There's no way to take you seriously, sir. I'm going to back that up just a little bit so we can not take them seriously a little bit longer.
Restart been fueled by white nationalism through the rhetoric of none other than Donald Trump. Look at his attacks on Alvin Bragg. Look at his attacks on Letitia James. Look at his attacks on Fani Willis, and contrast those to the things that he said about Jack Smith. One, they're attacking his professional acumen. The other is their humanity and their qualifications, which is a professional insult and very offensive. All of those things are rooted in white nationalism and speak to the very point that Fani Willis was making about that intersection of race and gender.
So let me make sure I have this right, because I want to make sure I understand the knockoff BB Winans. Calling out somebody's unprofessionalism, calling out somebody's lack of proper decorum, calling out somebody's ethical missteps, and dare I say even crimes. Those issues, those are rooted in white nationalism. So if I understand it correctly, and Donald Trump, by the way. So if I understand it correctly, nowhere in the history of humanity has there ever been somebody called out for not doing something correctly, following the proper steps, before Donald Trump and white nationalism become the big boogie monster du jour. If I'm understanding that correctly. But Jesus called out the Pharisees for being hypocrites. Remember, this man had God first in his bio, and he's absolutely, positively, morally bankrupt because he is a simp for Fani Willis. He would much rather showboat on MSNBC and demonstrate a lack of any kind of character, any kind of moral upstandingness. And rather than calling a spade, Fani was wrong for doing this. You can still say that whatever you feel about Trump, that's not the point. But rather saying that this man is racist because he disagrees with Fani and is saying that what she's doing is wrong. That's racist and sexist? Sir, you have absolutely no standing. Your moral compass has now gone bankrupt. And the same thing, take Raphael Warnock with you as well. Take Harold Jones with you as well. I got one on Harold Jones coming tomorrow. And again, this is what we see when we see men simp for black women rather than call them to account, rather than say, you know what? You're wrong, sis. You're wrong. It is perfectly okay to say that Fani Willis is wrong and still be black, still be a Howard alumni, still be a Q, and most importantly, be a Christian. Now, I'm not saying the man ain't a Christian. I'm just saying that his moral compass is completely bankrupt. His moral compass is off the Richter scales. This is foolishness. So I appreciate y'all so much. Let's look in this chat. I think my blood pressure has gone down, so let's see what we got. Juan is up in the house. I agree. I side with the truth and facts. Absolutely. There's no reason. You don't have to do either or. I can be black and tell the truth. Because at this moment, the man just basically said, you can lie and be black. Now, I guarantee you, Charles Coleman would disagree with what I just said, but he can't prove me wrong. He can't prove me wrong. He literally just said it. And I'll show it. But I mean, show me otherwise. Good to see. What's going on, Montag in the building? He's a common fan, flaming opportunist. That is his meal ticket. And looking over what I've seen, just a short research into him, I totally believe that. Real quick, before we get too far afield, I do see that I got 59 likes. Is it possible I could get to 70? Because I got a little bit better than 210 people watching. I would love to get a third of you all that like this video. So hit the thumbs up button if you like this content. If you don't like this content, hit the thumbs up button 3 times. I promise you, it'll work. I promise you. I'm a professional. All right. But they still were married 8 years later. K-Dub said, I'm sure somebody's arguing that Nathan and his wife are. See, that's the part that makes me infuriated. We are now, me as a Christian, I don't know who this person is that K-Dub is speaking to. By the way, shout out to K-Dub. He and I had a fantastic discussion last night about how to find a good church. It was a great discussion. Check him out on his channel. Fantastic brother. I love it. Why are we arguing about this? The man was married. Stop it. Stop it. You look like an absolute utter fool that you would argue that this man was allowed to do that. You wouldn't let anybody else do that. And I guarantee you, if your name was Jocelyn Wade and you were married to Nathan Wade and your husband was out there flaunting it around with Fani, you wouldn't be arguing in my comment section. Stop it. Stop it. You sound like a complete and utter fool. Stop. 8 years, 8 days, it doesn't matter. The man is married. You're married or you're not married. That's it. Those are the options. I know in this non-binary, crazy, cuckoo banana town that we live in, world that we're in now, people can come up with their own definitions, but there's only 2, married, not married. Stop it. Gosh. Insane, man. Stop that foolishness. You would sit there and allow, oh my gosh, Wilma, you might need to go ahead and get up off the channel. I'm just being honest with you. You might be well served to go ahead and step on out of here. This woman is honestly saying, listen to yourself. Get all of the truth. Mr. Wade's wife cheated on her, Mr. Wade, when his best friend in 2015. Let me ask you a question. Wilma. I'm not going to ban you. I'm sorry. Let me ask you a question. Where'd you get that information from? Where did you find this information out that Nathan's wife cheated on him? Where did you get that information from? Nathan? Are you honestly trying to tell me that you're going to listen to that guy? And Fani? Come on now. You're better than that. And they both agreed that their marriage was over and they stayed together until, please stop. Go be quiet and get out of my chat. I'm just being honest. You don't deserve to have this conversation because you're not even a fair thinker. You're married or you're unmarried, period. If she did have an affair, again, we're hearing it from Nathan. You should be already looking at that with an eye of skepticism from the word go. You should already be like, oh, I don't know about that one. You should already be right there. But beyond that point, why in the world are you okay with what they did? What is wrong with your own heart that you would honestly say it's okay? Because I guarantee you, Wilma, if that was your husband, if that was your wife or whomever, if that was your daughter, your son-in-law, your daughter-in-law, you wouldn't be okay with it. Please go somewhere and sit down. My name is Jason, dearwokec@gmail.com. Email all complaints and concerns to management. It makes no sense. You sound like a rambling, crazy person. She cheated allegedly 8 years ago. Stay married and then justify someone else's cheating. This is gang warfare thought process, by the way. This is how gangs continue in Detroit and Philly and in Chicago and other places. You crash out on one of my guys, we slide in on your guy. You slide in on my guy, we done crashed out on your whole team. We run by your house, we take down your apartment. This is the foolishness. Fani told you that, though. Fani is the one that threatened Jocelyn Wade. You do remember that part, right? That is evidence in fact. She threatened her. Abuse of power. Yeah, there we go. Using this logic, I can get back on people. The ends justify the means. This is gang warfare. This is tit for tat ideology. If Nathan said it again, my point is only this. They're still married. It really doesn't matter. Now, if it was such a big deal, just being honest, you know what? I'm gonna be fair. Let's say that Jocelyn did in fact bump uglies with Nathan's best friend, was it 2015? Okay. Then divorce the woman and be done with it. If it's that big of a deal, divorce her. Divorce her. Oh, it's for the kids. Okay, then stay with her. Stay with her. I mean, it's really that easy. I don't understand. If there's nothing, your kids are going to still be traumatized, because right now you want me to believe that your kids are not being traumatized, seeing their dad and their mom's story being drugged through the news? Sure, they're older, but is that not any better? How is that much better? Because if you had divorced her back then, it would have been just a family, been right inside your home. Now this right here is crazy. I'm sorry. Please go away. She wouldn't be getting alimony if she really cheated. Okay, there we go. It's clear, in my opinion, that they can't prove it, because here in Georgia, she wouldn't be getting alimony. That's an excellent point. Just, you can see your way out. It's okay. It's perfectly okay. It is perfectly fine. I don't believe a dog. And look, Santiago, I can't have you. You cannot call him Deacon Wade. I am a deacon, and I'm held to the standard of my church and my leadership. Nathan Wade is not a deacon. I cannot allow you to call him a deacon. It's sealed, so we don't know. But we do know that her lawyer denies that claim. I mean, why sit there and waste your time with, oh, she cheated, so therefore him doing what he's doing makes sense? Please stop. Please stop. You know what? By the way, shout out to Rambling Roy. I'm over here rambling in honor of Roy. I'm rambling. Thank you so much, Roy, for the super chat. Blaming and complaining is a destructive and contagious behavior. Amen, man. And Roy, bless you, man, for contributing to the Dear Woke Christian RICO Defense Fund, because I'm pretty certain that Fani is going to put me on RICO charges. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the RICO fund. Thank you so much for supporting, keeping your guy out of jail. Thank you, man. Grace and peace. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. Thank you so much, man. Oh, let's see. Let me see. No, this is just ridiculous at this point. And I'm like, yo, we can argue and disagree about that, but the shell game, the shenanigans, the chicanery of, oh, it's a black woman, and this, that, and the third, rather than dealing with the facts. Deal with the facts. If you could. That's the problem. If Fani could argue against the facts, they probably would have. But they can't. They can't argue. They can't justify what happened. They can't justify it. So they throw out all this smoke and mirrors. They got this person here acting ridiculous in the chat, saying dumb stuff. But they can't justify said behavior. So therefore, they just go ahead and just say, Jocelyn cheated. I don't know. And guess what? Neither do you. Is that really the evidence? Is that where you want to hang your hat on Jocelyn cheated? So therefore, Nathan should be paid $650,000 and possibly impede the election of a president because his wife might have cheated 8 years ago? Is that where you want to go? Oh, my goodness. Simping ain't easy. It's not easy, man. It is hard, man. It's hard in these simping streets, apparently. Oh, let me get back down here to this. Thank y'all so much for the comments. Thank you. 102. Please, thank you so much for the thumbs down. I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you. I appreciate all the thumbs up. I appreciate you find some value in this. All of it. Appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, how is it that there are other nationalities? Like, we're the only people that can literally take a black woman is sleeping with a black married man, got called out by his black friend, and we can call that racism. We're the only people that can do that, man. I mean, we are magical. I mean, we got some high level voodoo as it relates to just outright foolishness. Get out of here. Reverend Dr. Fani Willis, senior pastor at Fungible Cash Faith Center. Get out of here. That's hilarious. Drop them likes. Thank you so much. Look, real quick, in the chat, real quick, I just want to get a quick poll, just an emoji poll, if you will, an emoji poll. Give me an emoji that you would say depicts your understanding of these simps that we just talked about today. What would be an emoji that you would use to depict these simps that we just talked about today? I know which one I'm going to use, and I'm going to put it in there in a second. Let's go. That's how I feel about the simps in this discussion today. What about you? What simps? What would be your emoji to depict these simps that you that we talked about? Man, how did my chat get so far out of line? I am way down here at the bottom. Oh, I'm trying to get to the. All right, here we go. Absolutely, Lacey. I love it. Snakes. I got you. I see what you're doing there. Okay, something to write down. I see you. Clowns. Nope said. What does this one mean, by the way? I've always wondered, like my kids use it too. I'm like, what does that one mean? Hiding their faces. Buffering. Clowns. Absolutely. Epic clownage. A whole bunch of clowns. What are those? Oh, rats. Absolutely. See, there we go. Now we in the, oh, come on. There we go. I'm with you 100%. There's a lot of clowns in this thing. There's a lot of clowns in the circus. Hands covering eyes. Absolutely. Look like zombies. And lots of people doing it, the face palm. Liars. I love it. Thank you, Roy. Yes. Oh, okay. I see you there. Some dollar signs. There's some money. There was a lot of money being exchanged in this joint for sure. All right. Yeah. She's already. Look, Wilma, stop. Wilma, stop, please. Why? Sean says, why do colored folks call other colored folks white supremacists? I don't know. In my opinion, at this point, it just doesn't even make sense. It's just theater. It's just live action role playing. They just want to just, I don't know. I have no idea. That's why I call them less melanated, because I don't like that. It's just, at this point, we've gone into just cuckoo banana town, and it doesn't even make sense. All right, what we got? Got a couple more clowns. Got, of course, they're just dead wrong, man. They're just dead wrong. What's going on, Voice of Reason? And by the way, I thank every last one of y'all for stopping by today. I really do appreciate it. It means a lot, as I've said multiple times. I say it all the time in the stream. It means a lot that you all come and hang out with me, chit chat, and you all are the best live stream chat in the world. And I thank each and every one of you, whether it be the 110 that have thumbsed it up, the one that thumbsed it down, the 234 y'all that are watching it. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Atlanta still must be stopped. Absolutely. Skin folk ain't kinfolk. There we go. And by kinfolk, we mean our brothers and sisters. Absolutely. I'm an American Negro. And that's how this is myself from the Blackity Blacks. I'm right there with you, April. I'm right there with you. What? In Barbados, white people are called clear skin. That is wild. We be doing the most, man. We just be doing the most. We stay doing the most. I love it. Thank y'all for the emojis, dropping them in there. Thank you so much. Yes. And let me know. I mean, I'm being honest. I'm open to correction. If you really think that my position that Raphael Warnock and Charles Coleman are just simping for Fani, that they're willing to trade in their integrity, they're willing to trade in their own reputations and authority in order to block and cover for Fani Willis and her poor behavior. If you think that if you think I'm gone overboard, I'm doing too much, I appreciate it, man. Give me some feedback on that. If you think I'm right, definitely let me know as well. I don't think that this is going to stop, because I do think as this case continues to roll on and we go into the end of second season, we're going to see more of this shenanigans and chicanery and people coming in literally willing to trade off and give away whatever authority, any kind of reputation they had in order to give Fani block and cover, rather than just say the truth and hold her accountable, like the short that we watched where the young man was talking about the definition of a simp. Rather than hold her accountable and say, like, what you're doing is not appropriate, what you're doing is not right. Rather than do that, they would rather excuse, give it away, and block and cover so she can get away with it. So I've heard it referenced that Stockholm syndrome, an obsession with white people. Okay, I've never heard it as Stockholm syndrome. I know what Stockholm syndrome is, and that's assuming it. The reason I would not name it Stockholm syndrome, voice of reason, is because in the Stockholm syndrome scenario, something bad was being done to that group that eventually clung to their oppressors. White people ain't doing nothing to me. They're not doing anything to me. And I'll go as far as to say they ain't doing nothing to most people. Again, am I giving anecdotal stories? Absolutely. My neighbors next door, I love them. They're very nice and very kind. They don't do nothing with me. They ain't bothering me. They ain't bothering my kids, my wife. Their lawn guy don't bother my grass. He can cut my grass for free, though. I don't care. But again, like, they're not bothering me. So I don't have an oppression that I need to be healed of. The problem is these people have they don't have a problem, and they've now created new problems to justify having a problem, because they don't have a problem. What I believe it is I believe it's guilt that we've prospered to the place that we actually do have a level of cultural and ethnic peace and harmony. And these people actually feel guilty because of our ancestral issues. And therefore they're like, well, we got to keep that going because we can't actually have peace. We can't actually be done. We can't be in a post-racial society. We can't. How dare we not struggle like they did? So therefore we must struggle like they do. And you know it because they always refer back to, you even heard Biden call, well, you will hear, here in Georgia, we had a referendum for voter integrity. Joe Biden called it Jim Crow 2.0. Like, that's how crazy we are, because we have peace in our country. Now, people going to say, oh, Jason, you're crazy. You don't whatever. Okay, whatever. Kick rocks. Enjoy your trip from here all the way to Pluto, kicking every rock from here to there. I don't care. We actually have peace in society. The problem is you're not comfortable with it. You're not okay with it. And that's okay. That's your burden to bear. That's your cross to carry. Go do that. Go do that while you're kicking rocks between here and Jupiter. Okay? And double kick all the rocks on Saturn. Nobody cares. We're not going to play the game with you. That's it. Nobody cares. Go do what you're doing. Enjoy yourself. So I don't think it's Stockholm syndrome, voice of reason. I think it's more of a I hate to say it's a first world problem for sure, but I really believe it's an imposter syndrome. Like, I can't believe we've actually come to a place where our ancestors really wanted us to get, where they wanted us to be, where we're prosperous and productive. We're able to do so much more than any of our ancestors would have imagined. And I feel guilty about that. So therefore, I must gin up some kind of conflict in order to justify me not doing all of the great things that I could be doing in this time that we're in. Fanny gonna need some cash for bail money. All right, Wilma, all of this in your opinions, Wilma. Okay, Wilma, thank you so much. I'm not gonna actually read the rest of your statement. Just found you, man. I love your conversation. You're great. Thank you so much, Sean. Appreciate you. Grace and peace. Hey, Mary. Good morning to you. Always good. Jim, according to Fanny, she got cash everywhere because her daddy taught her. I mean, the logical question is, well, if you did get cash out of the bank, just show it and then you're done. That would have put the quash on that whole story. But you know what would quash the story even more? Not hiring your boyfriend. That'd have fixed it. What gets me is calling other. Yeah, this one right here, this is what's called white savior complex, where because really what we have now is we have a new stock exchange. I know you're familiar with the NASDAQ and you're familiar with these stock exchanges. What we have here is called the victim stock exchange. So in order to participate in the victim stock exchange, kind of like you need in the regular traditional stock exchange, you must have stock. And stock in the victim stock exchange is based upon your intersectionality. So I, as a black man in the South, I have 3 points of intersectionality. I'm a black man in the South. So I can say that I'm oppressed because I'm a black man in the South. Now, you, as a woman of less melanin, you don't have those intersectionalities. So you actually have to find a way to get into the victimhood stock exchange. So what you do is you ally yourself with me. So you say, oh, I'm calling out white people. So now your ability to participate in the stock exchange is because you're going to be oppressed by the white people that you're calling out by calling them racist or oppressors or whatever flavor du jour is. So that's how you get into the stock exchange. And now you have power and you have stock that you can trade because you yourself are oppressed by those mean, evil white people that, last Tuesday you were fine with, but now they're oppressors, they're racist, whatever the flavor du jour is. So that's really how the victim stockhood works. And that's why you see white people doing that. So, and you're not going to agree with me. If you have a problem, please make sure you email management, dearwokesy@gmail.com. So that's actually how people get into the stock exchange and they're able to go back and forth. That's why you see white people do that and go above and beyond to participate in the victimhood stock market. How dare you? All right, let me see. I see some good comments right here. All right. All right, let me see. I see a little bit of back and forth. We claim we're oppressed from slavery and cling to them, obsess, and blame them for everything like a bitter ex. It's embarrassing. Yeah, but see, the part of the problem is I've never been enslaved. My mom and dad were not enslaved. My grandparents were not enslaved, nor were my great-grandparents. So now, sure, we could probably, I'm going to travel back. I'm sure we probably could find some oppression, some high-level oppression, because my great-grandparents were all in Mississippi. Sure, there's a lot of problems in Mississippi. Not a problem there. But what's that got to do with me today? And then let's just say that the families that oppressed my great-great-great to the fifth power grandparents live here in Georgia. What's that got to do with them? What does that got to do with them? Nothing. Absolutely, positively nothing. And therefore, therein is the rub. But see, we would much rather impugn in the past and go back in history and try to, dig up old issues than rather look forward and actually solve real problems today. Because we could do a lot more moving forward than we can fixing history. Because you know what? The problem is history is fixed. So it doesn't matter if we argue and fight about the past. When we're all done, the past will not change. Not one thing about the past will change. So then our kids are arguing and fighting about the past. And when we get done, it'll still be the past. And then their kids, and so on and so forth. There's nothing that we can do about the past. What we can do, however, looking forward, is make some changes and adjustments and help looking into the future. That's it. And looking into the future, can I get 2 more likes? I'm at 128. Help me out here. All right. Thank you so much. People on the gospel of Tupac, only God could judge me. I mean, no lie there. All right, let's see. Okay, I didn't mean to bring this up, but this right here is staggering. Saying don't judge, but been judging like crazy and excusing sin. Just stop. It's okay. It's perfectly okay to just stop. Like, Wilma, that's why I'm not even kicking you out of the stream. Like, you can just stop and we're good. We're good. And please email me your complaints. Please make sure you email management. Oh, real quick. Thank you so much. Lacey Ann with the super sticker. The video game. I don't know why it writes them out. That is so funny. I can see it on YouTube over here, but I can't bring it up onto the screen like that. So thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Super sticker. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, let's get this down here to the bottom. I appreciate you. And that's going to my RICO Defense Fund, by the way. Thank you for funding my RICO Defense Fund. A lot of Black people have been brainwashed by the so-called Black leaders who continue to tell them that they're in bondage because it makes the Black leaders rich and these Black churches rich. I can't argue with you. I'm gonna take Black churches out simply because I don't agree with Black churches. I believe in churches, but there are churches that are highly melanated and they do preach that. So you're right. You know what? I gotta give you the whole thing. Let's just leave it alone, Jason. Fighting for their own limitations. Instead of fighting to be great, it's like they're fighting to be mediocre. Like, I'm gonna fight to be mediocre. I want to be. How dare you call me to be great? How dare you call me up to a standard? How dare you? I want to be mediocre. I don't want to be great. All right, let's see what we got. It's amazing, Regina says. It's amazing that they act as if other races don't struggle. White people struggle, red people struggle, yellow people struggle, and everybody does. And it's ridiculous. Where are those receipts for those cash payments? I'm going to tell you not to hold your breath and wait for those, Joseph. Yeah. Did he write responsibility and accountability? Those things don't apply to women. That's crazy, but there it is. Okay, that's the problem. People can't fix what they won't face. Accountability is growth, but that whole narcissistic and gaslighting behavior has to stop. Is wrong is wrong. Absolutely. I thank you so much. Yes, please make sure if you have a complaint or problem, please email management, dearwokec@gmail.com. I just had to stop talking about white people concerning our problems. It's embarrassing. I mean, we have problems as the highly melanated community. We have problems that the highly melanated community needs to deal with. Sure. Does that mean that the less melanated don't have problems? Come on, stop it. No, but we have problems that we could literally resolve ourselves. And therefore, we could easily then show that we mean business as it relates to how we're treated or whatever like that. But on the triage list, white people, other people groups are so low on the list of Black problems, it's ridiculous. What? I keep $15,000 in Chuck E. Cheese coupons hidden under my mattress at all times. You never know when you need to be a kid. Where was it? Where a kid can be a kid. You just never know. You might have the urge to go be a kid. Absolutely. You got to keep those Chuck E. Cheese coupons. I think they have like cards now, by the way. I heard. Yeah. I agree with you, Malay 8111, 13 Rules for Radicals. This is part of that play. I agree. Thank you so much. I appreciate great conversations going on. DWC, what are those color lights in the bookshelf and where did you get them? So those are some Elgato strip lights, and they're connected to my Stream Deck, so I can change the colors of them. And they're actually just on like a rotation, but like I can change the colors to, blue or red or whatever, and they're just on a rotation. Periodically, I just leave them in my colors, my green color, and it rotates between green and white. But a lot of the time, it's just this like 6 colors that I thought looked good on camera. So that's it. And I can, if you shoot me an email or whatnot, they're Elgato. There's a lot of they're RGB lights. Lots of, like, my kids have them too, and they like them. Like my second born, her room is covered in those things. I'm like, why do you have these on, babe? So that's those lights. But good question. Thank you. There are racist people also called races, but my race is the human race. Absolutely. And that's why that's why I try not to use the word racist except as a pejorative, because it's partiality when the smoke clears. It's just I'm showing favoritism to another person or people group based upon externals. That's it. Yeah. I mean, the race card at this point is the proverbial overplayed Uno reverse card in the old deck. It's just getting old and nobody even pays attention to it anymore. Nobody even cares. Slavery living rent free in these people's minds. There you go. There you go. I quit playing the card. Yeah. Just stop. That's why I don't play the game with them. I just make fun of them. I just make fun of them. And like right now, if 150, if like 6 more people hit the like button, I'll just make fun of them more. That's it. Appreciate y'all. Thank y'all so much. See, this is something, Caustic Chameleon. You can't state these kind of facts. These kind of facts right here, these are going to get you canceled, sir. You can't do that. You cannot say something that is so demonstratively true that you can't do that, man. You cannot do that. I don't know what makes you think that you can do that, but you cannot say something that is this is problematic. This is hurtful. This is I need a safe space. This is horrible that you would say something like that, Caustic Chameleon. This is don't you know words are violence? These are violent words toward me, sir. These are violent statements. Shame on you. Shame on you. Man, this is horrible, man. I cannot believe we even allowed you to come into this live chat. The best live chat in the YouTube solar system. And you're in here saying such hurtful and mean things. I cannot believe this. And I don't know why this comment just stays on the screen, because it's abusive. It's hurtful. It's painful. Oh gosh, it's terrible. Terrible. You know what? It's so bad. I'm going to read it out loud because I want people to know how horrible a person you are. You said, the thing is, every race has been enslaved at some point in history. That's a shame that you would say something so hurtful. Oh, terrible. Terrible. Sadness. Sadness has overcome my heart, Caustic Chameleon. Sadness. As long as they keep fighting among themselves, we are not watching what they are doing. And you know what? I do agree that there's a level of, look over there so you don't see what's going on over here. I do agree to that. So I'm just kind of wondering what's going on that we're not paying attention to. So I think you're right. My Irish ancestors were slaves. And when I want reparations, I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't. Actually, there is a British historian. You know, Britain does these really weird debates where they're really interesting. I'm sure you all have seen them, and I actually have it. I was going to do a reaction video to it because it's an Indian fellow who is born in Britain, and he's explaining why Britain doesn't need to pay reparations. It was really interesting, and maybe I'll do that one. Maybe we'll do that one soon. It was really interesting to hear him argue. And the thing is, he's a historian, so he knows different people, where the migration patterns of different people groups and so on and so forth. And it was really telling because he basically was like, look, all of us were slaves at one point, in some degree, shape, or form, and more than likely, all of us were oppressors or slave owners at one point. It's a hard pill to swallow, but it's true. And it was really good. So I mean, if y'all want to, I will. Maybe I'll do that one next. Again, I haven't heard many people in this space talk about it, and we have been talking a lot about Fani. I understand, but yeah, it was really interesting. So maybe I'll do that one. David Cowboy. That is not a good spirit. That is not a clean spirit at all. That one needs to be excised from you. If that's the spirit, it needs to be excised. For sure, for sure. Yeah, I mean, but not even that. Not even that. Not only is she his servant, not only is she defending an adulteress, she's defending somebody that violated their oath of office. If Fani Willis was a man, everybody would say that he was abusing power by threatening Nathan Wade's wife. Well, let me see. It'd have been, you got my point. If it was a man, if Fani was a man, everybody would say that he was abuse of power. It was abuse of power to hire and start having a relationship with somebody under him. Why do you not say that about Fani? Because otherwise, what's the difference between Fani and David Epstein? Or not Epstein, David, the Hollywood guy, Weinstein. Like, what's the difference between her and Weinstein? What's the difference between any other man that's been brought down for having a relationship, even consensual, with somebody, a subordinate? What's the difference? The TJ Holmes guy that was on Good Morning America was having an affair with his coworker. They were equals, and he got fired. What's the difference? I don't understand. Joseph David said, Black Christians that continually dwell in oppression makes me question if they understand what being redeemed by Christ truly. Sir, you cannot do this. What is wrong with you people? This is the best live chat on the planet, and people like you, Joseph, are coming in here saying stuff that is so demonstratively true that it actually causes me to, like, how are we here? How did we get here? Let me pull. Shame on you for pulling this back up. Wait, I did that. My bad. Black Christians are continually dwelling on oppression. That is true. And it makes me question, and this is actually part and parcel to why this channel is named Dear Woke Christian. This is part of the reason, because I watched people do this and then not give the gospel to somebody. They would talk about a quote unquote racist, but they wouldn't be able to give the person the gospel. And I started out asking, like, hey, dear woke Christian, how do you give the gospel after you just lied on somebody? Hey, dear woke Christian, how do you present forgiveness to somebody when you're asking for reparations? That's literally how this comment right here is part and parcel to how I started my channel. Shout out to you. Great point, sir. Let me tell you, Rebecca, lots of us are. Lots of us are. And that's part of the reason why they're not proud of it. That's part of the reason why they don't talk about it. That's part of the reason why they don't shine and point the light to this economy, because most people are not doing really well in it. And it's a sad reality. All right. All right. Man, these are some excellent commentaries. Montauk says, is groupthink mentality as an excuse against individual accountability and personal responsibility. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, when I say that this live chat right here is better than any live chat that I come across, and I see lots of you all in different live chats throughout the day and throughout the week, it's people like this right here. And I mean, it's comments like this that make my point. This live chat is better than anybody's, bar none. Fight me. Meet me outside. We can fight. We can tussle. But I'm still going to say it. This is the best live chat on the block. Absolutely. All right. Now you got, but see, there you go. Now you can trade your Chuck E. Cheese coupons and tokens, you know, like a little stock exchange, like a modern day Dogecoin. Are they fungible? Would they technically be fungible? Or they're a non-fungible? I don't know. I don't know how that works. I've never been to Chuck E. Cheese. I've only been to Chuck E. Cheese a few times. My girls, when they were younger, I think two of them, they've gone to 2 birthday parties. That's what I'm trying to say. I think they've gone to 2 birthday parties maybe there. But yeah, definitely not. It wasn't I mean, there's one here in my neck of the woods. And yeah, I can't say that we've been there many times. Oh my goodness. He says, nope, says the economy's so bad, my Monopoly money is running low too. My goodness, in the morning. Oh my goodness. Official DeGoat says dudes be simping for anything, and that's crazy. I agree. Like, you don't have to simp for Fani. You don't have to. You can actually call Fani to account. You can actually say that she's wrong. And you can do that. You don't have to simp for her. And you can still think that what she's doing is right. It doesn't have to be an either or. It doesn't have to be a net zero. You can think that her pursuit of Donald Trump is a good cause and still say that what you did is wrong. You can do both of those. Oh, wait. What do we got here? Juan coming through, helping out with the RICO Defense Fund. He just says, Fani is the new Marilyn Mosley. Oh, that's right. Marilyn Mosby. That's the one in, is it Baltimore? Okay. Unfortunately, with many people, they miss out on what integrity actually is. And I hate that because that young lady, if I'm understanding right, that's the DA up that in Maryland or wherever, and she actually tried the Freddie Gray case, and she did the exact same thing that Fani did. She went ham on it. She went in, she threw as many charges as she could, and none of them stuck. And I think that's part of what actually caused her fall from grace. And then also she did some shenanigans with the C-19 money. She had some real shady dealings with that, but that had nothing to do with it. That was her integrity. That was an integrity issue. But no, good call out. All right, let's see. Thank you so much for the contribution to the RICO Defense Fund. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for the support. All right, what we got here? All right, let's see. Well, thank you. Oh, thank you so much for becoming a member, Melissa. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I do have memberships on my channel as well. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Did I miss something? I might have missed something. But either way, I thank you either way. Yo, peace, baby. Out there in Australia, up north of Australia, our indigenous people are totally different from city slickers. I spent time up north. These people are so laid back and friendly. I've heard wonderful things about Australians, and that's why I said I wouldn't mind going to Australia and checking it out, doing a little reconnaissance, if you will. And I've heard good things about the laid backness of the people down under. So thank you so much. Fani Willis, Reggie says. Right. Fani Willis is act as if she cares about the black race when she sleeps with black woman's husband. I think that's one of the worst things you can do as a person. Judgment will hit. Fani Willis is evil. I agree 100%. But then also, Fani throws more black people in jail and throws crazy RICO charges at them than anybody else. She's the top cop here in Atlanta. I mean, if that be the case, show me how you care about black people. I don't know how it works. Nobody can defend that. I agree, April. Nobody can, but they will continue to barter their position, their power, their voice, their authority in order to cover it up so nobody can hear it. It's the proverbial putting your hands over your ears saying, no, 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 no. That's proverbially what we're seeing. But they'll defend that black girl magic. Yes, they will. And I call it black girl tragic. They will defend it. They will try. And we're using the word defend. We should probably put like quotation marks around that because they can't actually defend those shenanigans. What? Thank y'all for gifting. Okay. Lacey out there gifting a membership. All right. I see you. I see you. And what? Not to be undone. Q is gifting a membership. Thank y'all. Thank y'all for joining the team. I appreciate you. What? Okay. Oh, so now we're in a gift war. Hey, well, help me out with my RICO defense fund. Thank you so much. All right. And please, if you do get a membership, April was gifted a membership. I'm sorry. Please make sure Michael gifted a membership too. Thank you, Michael. I'm learning how this works, so I appreciate y'all doing that. Yo, thank you, Michael. I appreciate it, man. Thank you for supporting what we're doing over here. April, thank you so much for joining, being a member. I love it. No, this chat is amazing. Let me tell you this. Part of this whole deal is I love doing these videos so I can talk with y'all. I'm going to be honest with you. So I can talk to y'all. I mean, Devin is at the studio today recording, thankfully, because otherwise I would be at the studio doing this because I just like it, man. Y'all are great. This is well worth the time. I love it. Absolutely. Thank you, Michael, man. Blessing April like that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yo, that black pastor. Yes, I'm waiting for the new one. I'm sure there's going to be a new one. But that montage of black pastors simping for Fani from the pulpit was an absolute disgrace. Yes, it was. And I might need to pull that one back up. That was from Woke Preacher Clips. But it's like 17 minutes long. And it's like 17 minutes of simping. That's what it should have been called. 17 minutes of simple simping. That's what, man, it was terrible. But appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Why do y'all keep calling her Reverend Doctor? She was mentored by Bishop Kamala Harris. Why do y'all keep calling her that? Stop it. I'm not from Georgia. However, I have read about the deplorable conditions. Any real confirmation? The city is becoming less and less appealing. I'm gonna say it like that. The city is becoming less and less attractive. There's parts of the city of Atlanta that are just not. I live outside the perimeter. The perimeter is the 285 highway that goes around the city of Atlanta. And so I live what's called outside of the perimeter. And of course, people that live inside the perimeter. And of course, the closer you get to the center, the heart of the city, a little 5 Points area and the such like that. 5 Points area and the such like that. It's a little dicey. Let's just say it like that. It gets a little dicey. I wouldn't say that it's been completely given over. So I don't believe it looks like what you might see in like Philadelphia or like San Francisco or some other place like that, where the city, they've almost abandoned it to crime and drugs and the such of that nature. So it hasn't gotten that bad. It is not fantastic though. It is not the Atlanta post Olympics. It's not the Atlanta coming into the 20 coming in Y2K. It's not that Atlanta anymore. It's definitely on the down slope. So that would be I don't know about the jail. Let me tell you right now, because my opinion of the criminal justice system is I stay out of it. So that's how I support the criminal justice system. That's why I have started my RICO defense fund. So just in case Fani Willis decides to throw RICO charges against all YouTubers, at least I have my defense fund in play. So that's what we're doing to make sure that we keep me out of the jail, so I don't need to know what the conditions are of the jail, because I don't want to know. I don't even want to be a part of it. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate y'all so much. Yeah, I mean, the shame level is, but think about it. We live in a post-shame society. We don't live in a society where shame is actually a real thing. I mean, just think about it. I think we can all agree we don't have a lot of shame. And the shame that we have, I mean, you really got to go hard to make somebody shame. So, but then also keep in mind, Fani is being defended by people not to have to be accountable. Because part of shame is I'm accountable for my behavior. I'm accountable for what I've done. But we got people blocking and covering, Raphael Warnock, Charles, Coleman, all these other people that are defending me from having to be accountable. Well, there we go. That's how we got here. Amen, his servant. I'm enjoying hanging out with y'all. I really do. Grace and peace to you, Angel Wings. Always good. This is a moderator. Fantastic. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Please, peace, baby. If you email me some pictures, look, I'll make a montage of the beautifulness of the land down under. Because I mean, yeah. Yes. Thank you, Susie. Thank you, Susie. Susie is like in my mind. Yo, I love it. So Susie just dropped the link to Woke Preacher Clips, who did the montage of woke pastors giving duck and cover for Fani. It's deplorable. It's embarrassing. But there it is right there. Thank you so much for that. That's it. Really, I think at the end of the day, a lot of these, if you go look at Marilyn Mosby, if you look at Letitia James, if you look here even at Fani Willis, a lot of them want to be famous. They really want they want to be the one to do something notable instead of just doing the right thing. They want to be the one that's like, oh, I'm the one that took down Trump. Oh, I'm the one that did this, that, and the third, rather than just do the right thing for the community. And I think that's part of the reason why they keep overstepping themselves and overkicking their coverage and getting themselves in a position where they're in trouble because they're trying to do too much and they're doing the wrong thing rather than doing the right thing for your community. Because the people there, I guarantee you the people in Fulton County would much rather Fani Willis do what's right that will impact their immediate surroundings than try to take down Trump. I guarantee you they want that. Do you want Trump taken down or do you want crime down in your community? Do you want Trump taken down or do you want to be able to walk with your kids safely to the park? Which one do you want? I guarantee you, I feel comfortable. I speak on behalf of all of Fulton County. They probably want that well more than they really care about this. Because a lot of them don't believe this. And I hear that a lot of people don't actually believe this is going to net anything. This is really just a time waste. It's a money shift at the end of the day. All of this is just going into shifting money around. That's it. I'm a conspiracy theorist, so there we go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, let's see. God knows the hearts and minds of those who speak in his name, and they will be held to account. Thank you for reminding us that God's love is just. Absolutely. And I also want to point out, God knows whether or not these people are bringing about these condemnations of Fani Willis because of race or because of some form of partiality. And God will judge that accordingly. I don't have to assume that I know the hearts of somebody. I'm not actually told to do that. I'm actually not told to do that. Atlanta traffic is crazy. Yeah, that is true. Yeah, no, there's a level of truth there. Blaming others is a way to protect your self-esteem. Facing our shortcomings is hard and painful, but it's the right thing to do. That's how we grow as humans. That's how we get better. We actually get better through struggle and trial more than, sunshine and rainbows. We got to have rain. We need rain. We need struggle. We need that time, that seasonal changes in our lives. We need those things to help us grow. We wouldn't grow if we only had sunshine. It just wouldn't work. All right, let's see what we got. Thank y'all so much again for the comments. These comments have been fantastic. All right. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much for dropping the links to my various and sundries in the chat. Thank you so much. Let's see. Thank you so much. Hey, I'm glad to be included, Daylon. I'm included with April. So he says, Jason and April give me hope. And I appreciate it, man. Being included with her. Thank you, friend. Yeah, this is something Sherry just pointed out that a lot of people, we didn't miss it today, but a lot of people do seem to skip over this little nuance. And what is she talking about, Jason? Don't forget that Jocelyn Wade is also a Black woman. Fani didn't care about that when she threatened her. Nope. I mean, help me make sense of it. Like, how does that work? You all for Black women. Remember, she was talking about Sadal was doing this because she was a Black woman. But what about the fact that she was cheating on her husband? Hello? Cheating with her husband, please forgive me. All right. Leticia James, Juan says, is super corrupt. I don't know how you get super corrupt, but that's Tiffany Henyard. That's like that super corruptness. Still waiting for her to investigate NYC's Black and Puerto Rican legislators that raised money for scholarships but gave none out. Wow. We'll see at election. There we go. Oh, by the way, in the community post today, I dropped a post just asking, how excited are you for the election? And gave a couple good options. Of course, you can comment down below. But I would love for you to let me know, how excited are you or unexcited are you about the election? All right, let's see. I appreciate y'all so much. Oh, hope for our community. Man, thank you so much, man. I think the more we hold each other accountable, I think the Black community, those are the highly melanated, will benefit. Once we take our eyes off of blaming other people and saying it's their fault and point to the fact that these are our faults, these are our problems, these are our issues that we need to deal with. And like a perfect example is, why do we allow rappers to represent our community wholesale and unvetted and unrestricted? They represent all of us. How is that possible? Why do we allow that? Like, why do we allow that? Why do we allow actors to speak on our behalf as official leaders for the community? Why do we do that? Why do we allow politicians to promote ideas that adversely affect our families? Example being welfare state. Why do we allow that? Those are things that Black people need to ask Black people. And it has nothing to do with white folk. We should not accept rappers that promote ideas of degeneracy. That's it. Period. We shouldn't accept actors and actresses and entertainers stepping in as leaders in our community, but they've not put any skin in the game. All they've done is put sin in the community. We shouldn't allow that. We shouldn't allow it. So once we start asking tough questions as a community, as Black people, I think then we will actually see success and growth in our community. And then that's only going to benefit other communities as well. That's the thing I don't think people realize. Once one community is actually doing well, it doesn't mean that other communities have to do bad. So it doesn't like, oh, well, if you're doing well, then I'm going to suffer. No, there's no, this pie is limitless if we're helping each other get better. So if the Black community started working on getting better, guess what the Hispanic community would see? Oh man, they're working to get themselves better. Maybe we need to work on getting ourselves better. And then that would roll over to another community, And of course, there's going to be cross-pollination. Of course, there's going to be interactions between, but again, we're helping each other get better rather than pointing fingers at other groups, lobbing insults and foolishness, because there's no way to get better like that. For some reason or other, y'all talking about Atlanta, I see. Yeah. I think we're talking about here, I believe we're talking about Fani, but we could be talking about Leticia. We could be talking about Marilyn Mosley. We could be talking about a whole bunch of people. But again, Mary just says her reputation as a lawyer is shot now. Yeah, send me some pictures, Peace Baby. That'd be fun. Do you know what Eli McPherson looks like? Well, I don't look anything like that, unfortunately. I appreciate it. There we go. Lots of love for April in the chat as well. I love April. Her content is awesome. I agree with you. My heart goes out to Mrs. Wade, and it has from the start. I did a video earlier, Black Girl Tragic. Y'all's comments right there are just so powerful. You all in the comment section are so supportive of Lady Wade. And I just said, I pray that she's in a good church. I did hear that she's no longer in the metro area, but I pray that wherever she is, that she's a part of a good church and she has a community of people that are even a tenth as concerned as your comments were in that comment section, because you all were like so excited about being supportive, so supportive of Lady Wade. And I just hope that she's able to be somewhere where she can be properly loved on and cared for and ministered to and such like that. And that this is not the end of her story, that she's just, Nathan Wade's former wife or whatever. So good shout outs. Y'all, like I said, man, you all are so supportive. All right, let's see what we got here. Yeah, just vote. Just vote. I want to know what, and I'm using the word excited kind of, and I gave some degrees. So there's some degrees in the options there, Rebecca. Hit that like button. Thanks so much. I appreciate you, Angel Wings. Thank you so much. I can see what you're saying, Robin. This election is a distraction. Something wicked is coming. I can see where you're going, and I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at all. Celebrities should stay quiet. I agree with that. Like, you don't speak on behalf of groups. Like, why? And I'm using it, and hear me, Michael, because I don't believe that we should just, because we're Black, we should all be a part of a community. But I am saying that there are things that the highly melanated can do that are problems that are germane, that are wreaking havoc on people of high melanin. Example being there are children being born out of wedlock. That's a very serious problem. The amount of children in this community that are born that are not even being allowed to be born. That's problematic. And I think those kind of things, but watch, for example, if the highly melanated community says, no more, we're not, the Planned Parenthood is a blight on the Black community, and stood up to that and demonstrably encouraged birth and sexual responsibility to the point that Planned Parenthood no longer, as it relates to Black people, no longer could see that as a viable option, then they would try to either roll to another community, or the other communities would say, wait, why are Black people not going to Planned Parenthood? Well, maybe Hispanic people shouldn't be doing it either. And maybe they'll start realizing, and then we can bankrupt situations like Planned Parenthood because people stop going to them. But that's a responsibility issue that needs to happen inside of the community. Because again, you see more Planned Parenthoods in Black and brown communities than you do see in the less melanated. That's why, so again, it's not necessarily a community thing, but I just want to point that out. I hope that made sense. Man, there's a lot of good love going on. Q says something great. I see. All right, let me get this going. All right, let's see. There's a lot of commentary, a lot of support for Lady Wade and the kids. I love that. And I think that's what people need to see and hear. Like, yo, we can condemn Fani and be supportive of Jocelyn Wade, because guess what? We support people that are being mistreated. And by the way, Fani Willis is a Black woman, and so is Jocelyn Wade. So it can't be a Black woman thing. It can't be, because we're condemning Fani's ignorance and we're supporting Jocelyn in her victimness. There you go. Accountability and shame and intact families are, in my opinion, or in my opinion, what is missing. We had it once and built communities that others envied. Absolutely. And we could do so much better by being aware of this. And I appreciate that, Thompson. I appreciate that. Thank y'all so much, man. This was a fun live. I just want to get on here and talk about simping ain't easy. These men out here simping for Fani. I'm fully expecting Woke Preacher Clips to probably drop another one real soon because I'm sure they were simping this past Sunday. And we will absolutely do it again. We will absolutely do it again. I want to thank you all again. This is the best live chat in the whole YouTube solar system. I don't even care. I don't care what anybody says. This is the best one. You all are amazing. And I thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you so much for the helping out with the RICO Defense Fund. Moderators, thank you so much for keeping this thing going in the right direction. All of you all, thank you for coming. I really do appreciate it. I do have a video dropping at 1 o'clock. I'll probably be in the live chat with y'all with that. And we can talk about it. I think you have a good time. It's a fun video nonetheless. And until next time, everybody, I'll see you real soon. Grace and peace. Take care.